All right, y'all. So let's talk about educational stuff when it comes to sciences and virology, psychology, and physiology. So a lot of things growing up when we were digesting and just soaking up, absorbing all these knowledges and just mental templates that we gravitated to, and when it comes to like um, modern medicine and vaccines and just scientific ways on how to see the structures of organisms, and just looking at how the system is using science to implement their ways of how to heal and stuff. So we got these medical systems still using chemotherapy, for example, instead of using holistic medicine, which doesn't make sense. And they're still poisoning individuals and consumers and patients when they can easily heal these people and actually let them know about the benefits of holistic medicine and fruits. And it's really that simple. And not just fruits, but fasting is important. Fasting is probably the number one thing you should do before taking fruits, um, or probably just as important as taking fruits. And also detoxes like herbs and remedies. But it's like they don't do it. Like we see all these people overdosing on drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, that's clearly suppressing the symptoms, and it's not working at all. So we got a lot of indoctrinated individuals that still cling on to that mentality because they're too lazy to they're too lazy and fearful and trying to understand that there's another way on how to go about it, and it's so much way easier and less expensive than using their method of trying to heal. So all you really need to do is fast and take fruits that's from the Caribbean, like tropical places. I wouldn't suggest fruits that's being grown from the US or imported from the US. So like fruits from Mexico, Venezuela, um, what's the other place called? Um, Dominican Republic or Miami. There's some places in Miami that have some naturally grown stuff, and Guatemala. Um, there's other places that you can just get fruits. Brazil, Puerto Rico, just tropical places. I would suggest, but yeah, people need to start thinking about this stuff. So when it comes to the way we learned bacteria and viruses, there is no such thing as viruses the way they are talking about it. Um, it's just we all have universes inside of us, like organisms that create our individual self. The same way you see bacteria, which is not really bacteria, it's just organisms. The same way we operate, they operate on their own perspective and awareness. And as a spirit goes through birth, death, and rebirth, the spirit expands, and they're able to experience and expand their spirit to become bigger vessels and evolve, and eventually they'll become bigger animals, and eventually they'll become humans and stuff like that. This is how not just it don't have to be exactly humans, but higher intelligence, a higher intelligence in general. But yeah, this goes with us humans too. Humans are not um the highest um the highest, how you say, the highest intellect that can be achieved. As of now, it is within this dimension, but there's higher intelligence that you cannot see, that exists within a different frequency vibration, but it's all connected. It does not exist within out of this reality. It's all here, and we cannot see them because they exist within a different vibrational frequency. So the way your environment is shaped, we are inside of something, obviously. What else? How else can we? How else do you think it's it's being created? We're inside of something, but we cannot perceive that because we live within this limited version of awareness. But that's getting too deep. So I'm just here talking about medical stuff. Um, so the way they made y'all fearful of viruses and bacteria, and it's gonna make sense based on how you went about life, and when you was growing up with your parents and they was catering you and taking care of you, and you get emotionally connected. And throughout those situations, oh yeah, my parents took care of me when I was sick, and when I was going through this, so they gave me the remedies, and that's how you get emotionally indoctrinated. They're not wrong for doing that, but they wasn't aware at the time of how indoctrinated it was. They was just doing the best that they can, and they going about it based on what they was learning. But it goes deeper than just trying to heal you and stuff like that. Is about the knowledge that they had and how they was going about it. This shit is deep, so it's gonna be hard for me to like remove that mental template for certain individuals, but whatever. But there is no such thing as a virus, and trying to heal a virus through a vaccine or trying to suppress it doesn't work that way. When people get sick, it's because of the environment that we're in. We're going through seasonal changes. When something outside changes outside of you, like when we go through these seasonal weather temperaments, and when it goes from warm to neutral and then cold, and then and the cycle continues, our body has to undergo through those changes, and we have to adapt to those changes, and we call it aging. There's no such thing as aging. It's just the terms and the words that we use to define what aging is. But we shouldn't use words to define what it is because it's undefinable. You cannot limit that perspective with words, because that's what's going to make you less aware and not just understand it for what it is. It's going to be complicated, but this is spiritual. You gotta meditate on this, and you gotta find out and be knowledgeable and be more aware. And fear is gonna hold you back, but you can't let fear determine your belief and just limit you. You can't let fear limit you. So when people get sick, it's not because of a virus. It's because of many things. Our environmental changes, when seasons change and the temperament changes, our body has to change and adapt. This is how we evolve and expand. And at the same time, this is important. When people consume garbage, and when science say, oh, a little bit is okay, and a little bit of this and that is not that harmful, they're lying to you. Everything that you consume, even though it's a little bit, which you should limit but not be too excessive, everything that you consume, it accumulates, and that's what stagnates your blood flow and builds up mucus, and it debilitates you overall spiritually and mentally and physically. So you're going to be lacking awareness, and it's going to make you lazy, and it's going to make your spirit just not go. It's going to make you think that, okay, this is normal, maybe I should just keep a balance and just go about life the way I want to, based on how I see science and and things of that nature. It's like it goes deep with this psychology, mental template shit. But yeah, you don't need a vaccine just to cure your sickness, because it doesn't work that way. All you need is nature, which is what they're not trying to implement. So clearly, fruits, a fruit diet, fasting, working out, cardio, running. If you don't do those things, you're not healthy. If all you do is go to the club and drink and eat garbage from the deli, or not working out, that's your fault. We're not the same. You shouldn't implement your beliefs onto mine, because you're not expanding and people like me are expanding. So whatever you got going on within your how you see things and how you see perspectives, that don't got nothing to do with me. And I used to see it from that perspective, but you don't see it from my perspective, which is expanded. So for all you low spirits that don't understand and still indoctrinated, you still have a chance to learn, but just don't think that you can just don't think that I'm not intelligent or you're more intelligent than me, because I already seen it from your perspective. I used to be indoctrinated too. So don't be dumb. But yeah, you can't be fearful of not dying, because that's how they got you. And I'm not saying to be reckless, but we see things go through death and rebirth all the time. And based on religion and the Bible, they even tell you it's a sin to fear, because once you fear, you're letting your judgment dictate how you should live, and it creates a bias within you, and you become emotional, and you don't want to, you don't want people don't want to die. I understand that, but you shouldn't fear death, because then you won't completely feel free. And not to be reckless, like I said, and you got to be careful, preserve life, but it got y'all living in reverse. But yeah, to make it short, once you allow your spirit to absorb all these templates and experiences on how you should see the world, and creating your own perception and worldview based on their worldview and indoctrinations, and just educational templates, you begin to make it understand within you, and it's gonna make sense, because it's a limited version of making it make sense, and it's a limited version of the truth. But once you allow yourself to not go deeper than that, that's how your spirit is. You're not trying to expand you're not trying to expand and see the totality of everything. Like, all these things came from spirituality, like the essence of it, the knowledge and the wisdom and just I'm trying to understand it. So that's how your spirit is, and you're not trying to. Once you are fixated in that type of understanding, that's the vibration that you're in. Like, it's that simple. That's the vibration that you're in as a spirit. And once you're in a fearful state of mind, in a fearful state of vibration emotionally, that's how you're manifesting your own demise and sickness, based on that awareness and intelligence, on how you learn that educational perspective of science. So if you're fearful and you're always thinking about, oh, I need to get this so I won't get sick, based on their indoctrinational system, that's the vibration that you're in, and that vibration can make you sick. It's spiritually first, and then it becomes physical. So once you think something is real, it can become real within your world. That vibrational frequency energy is going to affect you. So if you're able to overcome that and not be fearful, you have a better chance of not becoming sick, and just limiting your spirit within that spectrum of becoming the best version of you. I don't know how to explain it, but I tried. So this goes with a lot of things. You can't, if you're eating garbage and stuff like that, it's gonna make you even worse, and it's gonna make you more dumb and sick. So, yeah.